Well, Darryl Jose's life story is not that different from any Tamil blockbuster. He is definitely saliva of Des Moines. He is a boy from Chennai who came to the US and built an empire. And when I say empire, I'm not even exaggerating. He has built up a company from ground up, which is now about a $25 million company and still growing. He employs more than 200 plus people. And I had a chance to meet with Darryl. Darryl Jose is an interesting person. If there is money to be made, he has made it. He's everything, but what he's not is modest. If you have it, don't be afraid to show it. And if you don't have it, don't be afraid to say it. And that's the motto Darryl goes by. And that's the genuineness I felt throughout this conversation. Let's get on with it. Hello, guys. So we have our today's successful immigrant with me, Darryl Jose. He's been successful in many areas, and he has built a company from ground up, which is a very successful company now called American Technology Consulting. So we are going to talk to him about his journey through that and try to get a feel of what he has gone through and if he can share any insights with us. So Darryl, you're rich. What's that like?
I don't know if I'm rich, but yeah, I don't know about being rich, but yeah,
Okay.
it's I mean, I don't look at it that way. I just
Okay.
look at it the success. That's pretty much how I look at it.
Right.
So
So what can you tell us about ATC and the company itself?
so ATC obviously is a staffing company. We do a lot of projects. We do a lot of IT related projects around the country. We have around 200 plus employees working in different projects in different client sites. So pretty much a technology company, expert. We have a lot of expertise in Java, .NET,
Okay.
a lot of those areas. We also do we did a lot of mobile projects. We don't do that much anymore. But yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much what we staff a lot of consultants around the country.
So what can you tell us about the size of American Technology Consulting? How many employees do you employ? And
Approximately 200 plus employees,
okay.
and we're around a $25 million company right now.
Okay.
So, and we've been in business for the last 8.5 years at least. I would say
Okay.
8.5 to
Perfect.
9 years. Yeah.
Sounds good. So, I would like to get a feel of that journey, how you started with ATC,
Yeah.
and how did you grow into what you guys are today?
Yeah.
Uh,
So with ATC, the journey started off, when I used to work as a consultant. I worked as a business analyst, system analyst, test analyst. And then it was a 9 to 5 job, something similar to what any consultant would do. And I just decided it was too boring for me, too slow. Everything was like, I thought I was wasting my time. But I needed the job, right? I needed the job, I needed the money. I
Okay.
made around 10 grand a month. Life
Okay.
was good, 10 grand. But then I was like, I had to make my life a little more miserable. So I
So,
decided,
so you decided to
so I
make
decided to go into
200
business.
people's life miserable.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that too, yeah. So I did not realize that,
Okay.
this business will actually be something serious when I
Okay.
started. I actually um, just started it just for the heck of it, for fun.
Okay.
So that's the beginning there, and the company was called Grapple Tech.
Okay.
Had to, I was working, I think I was working at Wells Fargo
Okay.
on a 6 month project at that point when I actually registered Grapple Tech.
Mhm.
And then which eventually we phased out and came into ATC. Right
Okay.
now it's a new Grapple Tech. So
Mhm.
the long story short is I had another partner, which was my friend. His name was Jay.
Okay.
And so he both of us were consultants, and we said, okay, let's do this as a business. We know this
Right.
game, and game seems easy.
Right.
Let's get this started. And
So
then we
was it really easy?
not really. So, is the fact that we thought about starting a business was
Mm-hmm.
very exciting, you know.
Right.
And I talked to a few people. They said, "Oh, there's nothing special about this business."
Mm-hmm.
And really, my friends who were in business already before me, they said, "There's nothing special. It's just some business. There's no, nothing great. There's no, not doing anything different than anybody." So, other than the fact that we just wanted to start a staffing company, right?
Okay.
So, and then my friend and we started it, and last minute he backed out.
Okay.
So we right before, when we started off with how much investment, that all this stuff. So, and he backed off. I didn't care. Just went through the plan.
Okay.
And went with the plan. I'm sorry, and started the company, and really did not know how to run a staffing company, or didn't even know.
So when you backed out, did you question yourself, or
No.
what kind of psychology you went through at
Nothing.
that time?
I just said, okay, if you're not coming, that's cool. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Because I was the one who said, okay, let's do it, and then I met him, and then actually we planned it together because I was staying in his
Okay.
house, renting a space when I
Okay.
was working as a consultant when I started off, and then so we planned this for like 6-8 months, and then last minute he said he had some other commitments, blah blah blah. I said, okay, no problem, I want to do it. So I started this, and had an office, rented an office, registered the company, rented an office,
Okay.
and had an office in India,
Okay.
and I had another. Then I found another partner in India who knew the
Okay.
business. One guy, his name was Pratap,
Okay.
and he kind of gave me a lot of support
Okay.
in terms of understanding the business. I know the consultant side of the business, so primarily the idea for starting this was just to make sure I get into some kind of business, try some business
Right.
out, and then I knew the downsides of consulting and the upsides of consulting, and
Okay.
the bad name that consulting business has.
Right.
No payments, people don't get paid on time, all that stuff.
Okay.
So keeping all that in mind, I know what affects a consultant. So started the business. It was very hard. First 2 years, nothing. And
Okay.
we started in
So when you
2009
say
hit.
nothing, what does that mean?
You don't get anything. You just it takes you 6 months to do one placement. You don't have employees. You
Okay.
work
So
on
you are your
requirements.
sole employee at
Yeah,
that
sole
time.
employee. You just don't
Okay.
know the game. You work with other companies. You try to get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And and you just try and pump in money and keep it alive.
Right.
So I think I pumped in like $5,000 to $6,000 a month. I had an office in India, one or two employees there, and for 2 years, and then 2009 hit, the recession, 8 and 9.
Okay.
We started right before that. 2007 is when we started off.
So couldn't have been a worse time than that, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you start a staffing business,
Right.
and everybody's not employing, so
Right.
and I didn't care, just kept pushing forward, with it,
Okay.
and in 2009, we got lucky with meeting a client who gave us an opportunity, to work with Wells Fargo.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
we didn't work directly, but we worked with a partner here who was implementing a project. So
Okay.
they gave us an opportunity to fill a Java role,
Okay.
and then they
So
gave
how
us.
did you bag that opportunity? Did you approach them? Did you make cold calls, or
No,
what
it's
was?
actually a local contact in Des Moines, Iowa,
Okay.
that I just got introduced,
Okay.
and they said, hey, we are really looking for people. We just don't have people.
Okay.
And they started off giving us one. We filled that one, gave us two. We filled that two.
Hmm.
And then eventually we had up to 150 people.
And they got hooked.
And they
Really?
got, they worked with 3 companies, and we were one of the biggest companies they worked with. And
Okay.
eventually they started giving most of the business to us.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah, we placed a lot of people through this company at
Perfect.
Wells Fargo. So this is, around 2009, right after the recession.
Okay.
So
So
kind of, that then in literally in 2009, I was working as a consultant, or 8, I think I was working as a
oh, so
consultant.
you still had your job.
I still had my job. I was pumping $6,000 a month.
Okay. So
Running the
you were
business.
practically saving nothing at that
I was
time.
practically, yeah, not forget about saving. I could barely make it.
Okay.
I had to feed like 2 or 3 people in India. I had to run an office here.
Okay.
And I had to pay for all of the other expenses, like job portals we had to sign up for, Dice, Monster.
Okay.
$6,000 expense.
Wow.
So forget it. Barely like.
So
making
what
it
was
work.
your driving factor? I mean, usually people start business to make money, and if you're losing money consistently for
Yeah.
initial period, what drives you to keep it alive?
I mean, the idea that the consulting business is a very big business, right? It's worth billions of dollars,
Right.
right? It's not something that's small, and it's just the barrier of entry is high just because everybody has their clients, or everybody has
Right.
bunch of employees, or they have contacts. Or I don't know how they started, but I know how I started, and I
Right.
thought about it like someone has to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
So, this is my start. I'll
Right.
figure it out. If this guy, if Tom, Dick, and Harry can do it, then I can do it.
I can do it too. Exactly.
So it's just that I don't know how right now. I have to learn. It took me a year to learn, and the second year we started breaking even. It took me 24 months to break even.
That reminds me of once Steve Jobs told Steve Wozniak that even in big companies, actual decision makers are just four people, and in our company as well, just four people are making decisions. So we are not that different.
Yeah.
So that's how when
Yeah.
they started Apple, he was comparing himself with IBM, which was
Okay.
a big
Yeah.
company at that time. And he
Yeah.
said even in IBM there are four people who make decisions, and in Apple also there are four people who are
Yeah.
making
So
decisions.
it's
So
those key
it's
decision makers.
right. It's not
Yeah.
that different anyway.
No, it's not, and yeah. So then we kept pushing, and then eventually we got a breakthrough in 2009
Mhm.
with these consultants at Wells Fargo
Okay.
through another company called Sage, and then that actually kind of supercharged our growth,
Okay.
like
Perfect.
dramatically, like, and then I got laid off, and then I was like doing nothing, so
So
and then
you had a lot of time actually to
yeah, I had
focus
a
on
lot of
this.
time. Yeah, so and then I was, I was good thing I got laid off because we had like 7 employees when I was laid
Okay.
off.
Let's rewind and say that again. It was good thing that you got laid
Yeah,
off.
it's because you're making $10,000 a month. You're in your
Right.
comfort zone, and
Right.
then now your company's breaking even. The $10,000 is all yours, and you're not put in a spot. You're not on the kind of hot seat or kind of like in a position where you're do or die.
Right.
So people don't succeed just because of they don't have a do or die attitude, right? That's what I
Right.
think, at least.
So getting out of that comfort zone may feel like a pain point at that
Yeah,
point,
it
but
feels like, yeah, it's crazy, right?
it's
Because
really not.
yeah, basically you're shaking up your foundations.
Right.
That's kind of how what happened, right? So got laid off, shit, what do I do, right? And then met this other company and try to like, ramp up business. 12 months from then, we were at like 75 people. 18 months or 24 months from then, we were like 150 people. Like we were number
Wow.
one in Des Moines, Iowa.
Mhm.
For Wells Fargo, we had 150 consultants. Nobody in Des Moines at that point in time in 2009, 2010 had
Okay.
150 consultants.
In
It's
first place.
hardcore hustling, right? So
Mhm.
the good thing that was going for us is the market was, like in deep shit, like deep trouble. Everybody
Okay.
was getting laid off, left, right, and center. Every day in the news, you go watch the news. 10,000 people are getting laid off. 20,000 people are getting laid off, right?
Okay.
That's a good thing for us. Good, bad thing for the world, right?
Why was it a good thing for you?
Because
I'm
there was
trying
more
to understand.
supply,
Okay.
right? Less demand.
Oh, right.
And I was fortunate enough, thank God, I was fortunate enough to manage to get this customer, that had, this project in Wells Fargo, that really helped supercharge our growth at that point, at the most critical point,
Okay.
right? My day started at 8 a.m. in the morning,
Okay.
and ended at 2 a.m.
Wow.
Interviews throughout the
So
night.
it's not just hustle, it's a lot of hard work
It's a
too.
lot of hard work, a
It's a
lot of
lot of
hustle,
hard
a lot
work.
of hard work,
Yeah.
and I remember for the last 4 years, between 2009 and 2013, to the end of 2014, mid of 2014, we used to interview on every holiday, Christmas, New Year, Easter, think of any holidays. We had interviews on those days. And then we had guest houses where people, we brought them into town. The whole world around us was crumbling, right, with the
Right.
financial meltdown. And this was only the place they had to go. They had now no choice. So we brought in like, 50, 100 families at least, 100, 150 families.
You literally brought 100 plus families in this area to work on the project.
Yeah.
So do you think the mayor should give you the key to the city?
No, I don't think he needs to give me anything. But yeah, we literally brought hundreds of people from
Okay.
all over the country to Des Moines, Iowa.
And
So
this is when the economic times were not
yeah, it was
so friendly.
not friendly, and we literally had to explain to them where this place is, where Des Moines, Iowa was,
Okay.
and it's really not in the middle of cornfields,
Right.
right? And really, it's civilized, and there's no animals,
Right.
grazing around, and it's and winter's not that bad.
Did people actually ask you these
Yes,
questions?
literally asked us those
Okay.
questions. And we literally had answers. I actually typed out answers for all my sales guys.
Okay.
At that point we had two, but sometimes have to send them the answers and questions.
Okay.
Frequently asked questions. where you can get places to stay, rents,
Okay.
and most people were like surprised that the rents were so low. Back then, it was like you can get a two-bedroom condo or or an apartment for $750, $800.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's like $200, $300 more.
Okay, so it
But
hasn't
it's
changed
not
much.
changed much just because of supply and demand. But it was, and they were attracted by the billing rates and the
Right.
salaries, and were
So
pretty
you
much.
did negotiate good rates for them with the
Yes, they
clients.
did make, yeah. I mean, yeah. So salaries were almost the same. They
Okay.
were no different than California and New York. And
Okay.
at that point in time, getting a job itself was a big deal.
Hmm.
You know, and yeah. So yeah, we literally had to convince them. You have to tell them that this is literally not, in the middle of the cornfields.
So yours is a pretty much a story of hustle and a lot of hard work, as I
Yeah.
can see.
And
Uh, what now? I would like to take this interview a little bit towards your childhood and where you grew up and how did you come to this country.
yeah,
So where are you originally from?
I was born in Chennai, India.
Okay.
So, and grew up all my life in India
Okay.
until I was 21,
Hmm.
when I finished my degree in engineering,
Hmm.
and then I moved to Malaysia,
Okay.
and I worked in Malaysia for a couple years, I think like 4 years, 3.5, 4 years,
Okay.
and then I came to the United States
Okay.
and found a job and came to Des Moines, and
Right.
then got bored and started.
So I am seeing God bored as a theme around here
Yes.
in your story.
Am I?
So
Yeah,
so
every
how
time.
many times in your life have you actually got bored and because of that you've changed something?
Yeah, so I've had two startups.
Okay.
Like first one was Grapnel,
Hmm.
the initial startup that
Okay.
that we did, like Grapnel. I think we did around $20 million,
Okay.
and then ATC was a complete new setup.
Right.
So that is now, that's like that came up to like a $25 million company.
Hmm.
And then I did iApps, which was a mobile app company.
Okay.
Complete failure, you know.
Okay.
So you had to get slapped in your face once, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
just because you're in this, oh, okay, I have two successful companies, I should have a third one, right?
Right.
You deserve it,
And it
right?
didn't work that way.
It definitely doesn't work that way, right? So,
Okay.
I mean, just basically everything was wrong, right? The fundamental setup of who you partner with. Obviously it's a mobile app company. We build mobile apps.
Hmm.
It's more, oh, okay, the mobile app business is hot. Let's do something about it. It doesn't work that way. So
Okay.
you need good partners. You need a,
Right.
development team. You need to know. You need to have, someone who has a good roadmap and
Absolutely.
revenue. So bad business, but good first product startup that failed, like
Okay. So
miserably.
what was your product with iApps?
We had bunch of apps that we built for, we had the major product we had was called ProShare, where we had multiple sign-on. This is in 2000, I think 10 or
Okay.
11, maybe. I think 11.
Right.
So where you could actually, it's called ProShare. It was called ProShare,
Hmm.
and it's a nice product there. So we had all these social media apps. So you had one app, and you had single sign-on into all these apps.
Okay.
So now there's a lot of tools like that,
Right.
right? But back then there was nothing.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just that we had horrible marketing techniques.
Okay.
Product was not completely, defect free.
Okay.
The thing crashed every 5 seconds.
Okay.
And we just couldn't fix it, and we didn't do enough testing. So now
So,
I know
so
this.
you just discovered few more ways of failing, I guess.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the way to look at it. I
Because
guess.
this, the business I am in right now is a services business, ATC or
Mhm.
Grapnel is services business. Product business is a whole different ballgame. So, and then I literally one day I woke up and said, okay, is enough, right? With this product business. Let's shut this down and let's focus on what I have. So I gave it away to my friends, and they took it away, and two partners, they actually went and started other product companies.
Okay.
I have no idea where they are right now with their products, but fairly decent, starts they had, chances they had. And I went into another product company with my childhood friend,
Okay.
Asif, and we started Reduce Data. I co-founded a company with him. So it's called Reduce. It's an ad platform, programmatic buying, ad tech. It's called ad tech
Big data
industry.
platform.
Yeah, we use big data technology and stuff. It's more like a lot of analytics and with the ads, but more really, it's called RTB. So real-time bidding, some kind of display ads. So we
Understood.
did that. Went and sold it to Snapdeal India, and we
Okay.
got acquired in 2015. So that was a
So
3
that
year.
was a successful venture.
Yes, that was a successful. We had a positive exit. So someone
Okay.
actually bought our crap. You know, so
I don't think Snapdeal would like to know that.
no, in
They
terms of
bought
like
your crap.
what I meant by that was
Okay.
with a product business, right?
Right.
So in any business, when you exit, that
Mhm.
means you build something and someone actually paid money to buy your stuff.
Right.
That's way better. You know, that's why product businesses have like 10x, 30x, 20x exits.
Absolutely.
Versus services, you know, if someone ought to buy ATC, you won't get 20, 30x.
Right.
It's probably 2, 3x, right?
Makes
So
sense.
that's kind of how it works in the world. So when I say someone bought a crap, is someone we built something and someone decided this is going to
Someone
be
bought
useful
it.
for them, and actually, you know, when Snapdeal acquired, you know, they actually made 5, 10 times, or maybe 4 times whatever they bought it for.
Yeah. So
So
it,
they
it
already
turned
made the
out to be
money
a win-win situation
for them.
for
Yeah.
both of you.
They don't buy something that you know they're
That's
not
gonna
gonna
fail.
yeah
They don't actually buy crap,
crap.
as
Yes,
as
they
you would
don't technically
describe
buy
it.
crap, but I'm just
Right.
saying, you know, I'm just saying that whatever we built is, you know, bought
Yeah.
our crap kind of deal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So
All right. So, you know, since you have built, say, 2 to 3 successful ventures as such,
3.
what can you share with us about, you know, how to build a successful venture? If I asked you to describe in, let's say, a couple of sentences, what would your message be?
Um, I mean, honestly, I never thought about it like that. I know what I did. I mean, first identify an opportunity. I mean, this is something that I say is, you know, if someone else is doing it, you know, there's two types of business. So either you find something new that nobody knows about, and you have something called a product market fit.
Right.
You know, we learned it the hard way. You know, while I did my startups, you know, product startups, it's called product market fit, where you need to find a product and you need to actually know that your crap is something that interests people, right?
Right.
So what do you build is your own crap.
So
is
you've
what
got
I'm
to
saying.
have a market for it.
You have to have a market for it, right?
Right.
And the other business is like a service industry, right? Like if ABC are doing and ABC is successful in it, then like ATC or Grapnel, how I started, like everybody had a starting company, staffing company.
Right.
Why would I start another one? Because I know the market is huge, and everybody else is doing it. If
Right.
you know ABC is doing it, I can do it too.
Right.
That's already a validated industry. Now the risky part is when you build your own product and you don't know the market and you assume the market's great, and then you go ahead with your product and spend hundreds of $1,000s, and then you get something like iApps where you have a failed startup.
All right.
You know, so it's what I would say is understand your product, understand your market, and then, you know, get some advisors, you know,
Right.
to advise you if possible. If not, just, you know, put a lot of effort, and you should, you know that anymore. You don't have to have, you know, background. None of the startups I had or any of the companies I started, I didn't have the background, you know, of running a business in that industry.
So the partners you chose were not really people who actually had any background.
Not
in this
any,
area.
yeah, but in the product industry is very important, right? Not every industry. One person needs to know, but if you're, I was part of the marketing and the sales in Reduced Data, so I didn't have a background. I went and learned it, right? But the person who built the, you know, core platform had, you know, programming background, right?
Okay.
So and
So someone has to be expert in the product.
in yeah, building the product, right?
Right.
Able to build, you know, the software or the tool or the platform or
So
whatever.
so you would say do what you understand best.
Yes, do what you understand. I'm good at like managing stuff, right? I can manage 100 people at the same time or 500 people. I have no problem. I can hustle through it and manage to them easily, no problem. Management, you know, people skills, management, financial. You know, I can crunch numbers day in and day out. That's all I do. Like now I'm also into
You just
marketing.
make it sound so easy, man.
I know it's not. It's what I've been doing this for 10 years, right? So,
Right.
so go back 10 years. You know, I probably do know 20% of what I know right now. So
Yeah.
it's just it is not hard. I can tell you that it's not hard as.
Yeah, I mean, if one person can do it, other can do
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
just a
that's,
matter of.
that's your philosophy.
Yes, yeah, that's what I think. You know,
Okay.
just you know, sit down and study. I still study marketing. I do a lot of marketing. You know, I study growth hacking. You know, how do you like explode your, you know, inbound leads? You know, how do you make people buy your products? You know, why would they buy your products? So it's a lot, right? Marketing is not just display ads anymore. So
Absolutely.
it's more than that. So yeah, so just and then, you know, this obviously, like I said, I don't know the one-line statement to say how to build a successful business. All I know is, it takes hard work, a lot of, understanding
I
market,
mean, there is no one formula
yeah,
fits
no one
all.
formula,
Yeah.
and never will be a one formula thing.
So, Darryl, I would like to swerve this interview a little bit towards the immigrant part of it. So you came from Chennai and you then went to Malaysia, you came to the US. What was that journey like? And what can you tell me about your thoughts on what American dream is?
Um,
And do you still believe in it?
I mean, I never wanted to come to America. Never
Okay.
even thought about coming to America. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I was very happy in Malaysia, and then I just had I got married,
Mm-hmm.
in 2005, and then I came to the United States. So I came here by accident,
Okay.
So
So
uh,
it
it
was never
was
your plan.
no, 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 never even when I was in India, you have most people going to the U.S. applying all these things,
Mm-hmm.
to come to the U.S. I tried to go to the U.K. and
Okay.
now U.S. was not even my radar.
Okay.
And then things didn't work out for the UK, so I just went to Malaysia because my friends had companies there, so
Okay.
they offered me a job. That's how I went.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I mean, American
So
dream.
did you meet your wife in Malaysia then?
Yeah, we
Okay.
we met online, and then we met
Okay.
in Malaysia, and
And
yes,
I guess online dating was a big taboo back then,
I
in
I was the first time
2005.
I even went online.
Oh, really? So that was your first date
Yeah,
ever
first
online,
yeah first
and you
week.
found your wife.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
back then it was
Mhm.
nothing that's very, I don't know, like somebody told me, and that's how I went.
Okay.
So it's kind of, and after that I didn't go
Okay.
online. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, it's a completely different world back then.
Okay.
Literally I didn't even know much about this whole online community. Nothing. It's very
Okay.
disconnected.
Right.
So, um, uh,
So is it a fair statement to call you Thalaiva, coming from
no.
Chennai and conquering the
Right.
business world out
No,
here in
not
Des
even that,
Moines?
not even close. But yeah, you can say whatever you want, but yeah, I'm not even close.
I mean, you clearly have the looks of Thalaiva, that much I can tell you.
Yes, I look like a thug. So yes,
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
keep
that.
calling yourself a thug. So what's that about?
I don't know. Look at me. So that's what most people think I am, at least by the looks, until they talk to me and get to know me, right?
Right.
So then they're like, oh, okay, he's not so bad. He just looks scary.
No, I didn't think you were bad or scary.
You know me, so you're biased. So,
All right.
so not the same thing.
All right, perfect. And one last question. So, if I ask you what is the most important thing in your life at this point, what would that be?
My most important thing in my life, I, I mean, obviously my kids, is the
Mhm.
most important asset. Other than that, I think health itself, and having a peaceful life.
Yeah.
That's
That's what you value the most.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
And
I don't
that's
value.
what you work towards, I guess.
Yeah, I've never ever worked towards money. I've never like, asked, oh, I need so much or I want so much. Like, never ever. So
Right.
from the time I can remember. So I know, this is something I always tell, right? I kind of mentor certain people,
Hmm.
with startup businesses,
Okay.
friends, people I meet off the street sometimes,
Right.
I socialize a lot.
Okay.
So I go out, I socialize a lot, a ton, right? Literally. So I mentor a lot of people. So when they say, oh, I ask them the question, like, what is your driving factor? The
Hmm.
first thing they say, I want money. Like that itself is like kills it.
That's a turn off.
That's it. It just kills it for me. Like, oh my God, money is never should be a driving factor. Yeah, money is great, right? But if your driving factor is always money, right, you're always going to be disappointed. No,
Yeah, because
it's not.
someone else is gonna have more than you always.
Yeah, someone else
So,
is going to have more than you, and and when I do interviews, I'll ask them, like freshers, I ask them, or new people, graduates, if when I'm doing an interview, I ask them, okay, what is it? And they say, oh, I need to make X amount of dollars. That itself is, you locked your head into, I need to make $1 million or $500,000 or 200,000. So what you're telling yourself is, oh, this is what I want to make, and that itself, is only going to get them so far, at least in my head,
right.
right? So you put a number to your success. For me, your success. So once you reach a 200,000, you think you achieve your success and it's game over.
Right.
Okay.
So your
So
progress kind of stops over
yeah,
there.
unintentionally you're
Right.
putting a number, to your success. For me, I never ever said, oh, I need to make $1 million, or I need to, make $5 million, right?
Right.
So it's I've never said that and never will, and nobody ever knows what I do usually when I go out when I talk to people, so they think I'm
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, because I remember when I asked you, I wanted to do an interview with you since I think, you fit the category of successful immigrants I've been interviewing. Your answer to me was, why me, man? I'm just a local thug. So I was like, okay, I should start with that, but I completely forgot that I had to use that line to
Oh my
start with.
God. Yeah, so I mean, that's what I really think. I'm just, everybody's normal, a
Right.
normal human being, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so for me, success is what drives me, really. It's like
Perfect.
all something that always drives me. I don't care. Like, I help a lot of friends to a level where I do a lot more than anybody would mentor them. Like, actually go in and actually,
Right.
run their business for them and then, let it go.
Yeah.
So, not even expecting anything. So,
Cool. So let's end this with a quick rapid fire round.
okay.
So I'll say a word and you say the first thing that comes to your mind. No,
Okay.
no thinking aloud. Success.
Um,
No thinking.
it just threw me off with success. I don't know. Success, Bill Gates.
Money.
Uh, money, Rajnikant.
People.
People, oh, crap. I'm so
Crap.
horrible.
Crap.
Crap. That sounds about right. Thumbs up. People, yeah. Let's go with crap. So,
All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Would you like to add any concluding comment?
no, I have no comments.
Any tip for our viewers?
Yeah, I mean, so tip for success is like, say, again, like, don't look at the money, look at success. That's something that should always drive you. Never, dollar amounts. Don't, limit yourself to dollar amounts or certain things. I need to get this. Just, have this success. Once you tasted it, you will never like not want to taste it again, and that's what drives me every time. Like,
Right.
literally, I'm starting something new right now. No reason. I don't. At some point, the dollars make no sense, right?
Absolutely.
It's just
It's just a number.
another zero and another zero at the end, right? So it makes no sense. But the success is, once you taste it, you all constantly want to taste it. So chase after success. Everything else will follow. Money is a byproduct.
All right. So thank you, Darryl, for doing this, and look forward to
Thank you.
seeing you again, and wish you all the best with all your successes to come
Thank
and
you.
even more.